Hi, I'm Oreathia Smith. I'm a scriptwriter and scriptwriting instructor. Coping with my mother's drug addiction kind of pushed me into watching TV and falling in love with the lives of people on TV, well, on screen. And at the time when we were growing up, it was like TNT. It wasn't like Turner Classic Movies, but TNT was like all those old movies. That's what you watched. It wasn't like continuous reruns of CSI and Law and Order. It was like the old movies. And so that's just how I cope with life and anything else. At the time, it was The Owl and the Pussycat with Barbara Streisand and George Segal. I don't know why, but I just love that movie. I loved when it came on. You're like, what? But it was my favorite. And Platoon, I don't know what it was, but seeing Willem Dafoe like come out, you know, in that scene, and they were like the helicopter leaving him, and I was just like, wow, I just wanted to watch it all the time. And so that was kind of like my introduction into being in love with film. And then I could talk about it. I didn't realize that I love film, but I would talk about movies that people didn't watch. Watch School Days. I remember Spike Lee's School Days was on TBS. It was like running on TBS, and I would just watch it all the time. G by G, like I loved it. I like telling stories. And I don't even know when I started telling. I can't mark that time, but I've always been like a storyteller. And I didn't know what type of storyteller I was. With acting, I mean, I like acting at my later age. I feel like I want to do it more, but I didn't want, and I like attention, don't get me wrong. I'm a true Leo, but I just liked the creative part of it. It's a joy. I remember in Girl Scouts, I wrote a little skit for my troop, and it was just fun watching people act out what I wrote. So that's where the fulfillment came for me. Did Issa Rae's Awkward Black Girl, and credited as O. Smith or O.C. Smith on there. And so that was good and helped contribute greatly to that show, and created the character White J. Whoop, whoop. And let's see, I was the 2016 BlueCat Screenplay Contest winner, and that's the screenplay contest run by Gordy Hoffman. That's the brother of Philip Seymour Hoffman, so that was like a big deal. And then I was the Enderby semifinalist in the Austin Film Festival for another script that I'd written. So, and then right now I'm working on a screenplay about 5 friends. So all of their little, like what is it that makes them friends, and maybe trying to focus more on my strength is some like wit, but not necessarily jokes. I also worked for Devon Franklin. I was his intern when I lived in Los Angeles at the, I worked at Sony Pictures and Columbia Pictures. So that was the icing on the cake as far as my film education goes, because I got to see how executives think and what decisions they make as far as choosing material. And oftentimes as writers, as we should, we get bogged on the quality of the story, and the quality of the story does matter, but you have to think about other things when you're trying to get a script read. It made me understand the importance of not handing just because I know someone's an executive, I'm not just going to hand them a script. It has to be the best script, since Hot Grits. I love Hot Grits. I'm a Southerner. So you don't ruin the relationships you have with people that are in the industry, because they have other things going, they have other lives going, and then they sit down to read your script or get their intern to read the script, and the notes come back bad, then they're going to think of you as like, okay, that's my friend who writes scripts, not I want to help this person and finance their movie. So that was so insightful. And also how they choose writers. They have a list that they compile, and they put, if they like you, they put you on the list. And if you're not on the list, then, you know, it's hard to get on the list. So that's another thing that people don't realize. You're trying to make it, it's like you get your agent, but still there's another hump to get to. And to be honest with you, when they feel like the same person brings success, they just go to that same person. So you have to, your stuff has to be great so that you can break through their list and break them out of that cycle of always choosing the same people, because at the end of the day, they're trying to get a profit.